Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Simmo Social number 4. So we're 2023 now and it's been 2 years since we've done one of these. Unfortunately last year we just couldn't get the dates together for all the lads to come, so we ended up skipping it, but we're back this year. You'll see from the title we're on Brasenose 1 instead of our usual Brasenose 2. That's just because the pegs weren't available on Brasenose 2 at the times of year that we wanted. So we've jumped over here onto the riverbank swims, so just to the right of the car park on the riverbank, going all the way around to the left-hand point. So I think on the map it's 24 to 36, although that has changed slightly because they've done a fair bit of work over here. They've taken a couple of swims out and they've put platforms in. You can see behind me here, my bivvy's on like an upper tier and they've put frontages in. A lot of these were just like gravel slopes to the water before. Yeah, so like I say, they've taken some swims out, so I'm not exactly sure of the numbers. But we got here fairly early before the gates opened and did our draw and picked all our swims and whatnot. I came 6th, my dad came 9th. I was fairly happy with 6th, to be fair. I'm a little bit left of where I wanted to be, but looking at it now, I don't think there's really anything in it. I've got an open water swim. I've got the furthest left on the riverbank before you go around onto the point. So yeah, I'm fishing normal tactics, 3 on a spot. I've put half a bucket of bait out there this afternoon and yeah, it looks pretty good. There was fish showing this morning. Apparently they've been getting caught. So we'll see what happens. Like I say, weather looks pretty good for it. There's a northwesterly breeze blowing at the moment, which is kind of a crosswind, not too strong. But we've got a big southeasterly with a big pressure, drop in pressure coming later tonight and through tomorrow morning with a load of rain. So I think if it's going to happen, it's going to be then really. But I'll keep you updated as the session goes on. We've got 3 nights as usual, so fishing through Friday morning, now Friday afternoon, and we're fishing through till a Monday morning. So yeah, hopefully we can catch a few simmos. We've got plenty of beer and barbecues, so yeah, we'll have a good time, I'm sure. I'll keep you updated, anything that happens. Right, catch you later. Morning, so it's Saturday, 8 AM, and it's a wet and windy morning. You can probably hear the rain on the bivvy. I'll have to apologise for the audio. My mic has died. I'm not sure what's happened to it, but I've got no mic, so you probably hear a little bit of wind noise and whatnot. So yeah, it's a real different morning this morning. Load of rain's come in, and it's blowing southeasterly, which is blowing up to my right, up to the lads up the top. And it looks really good, to be fair. So yesterday evening, we all got together, a few pegs down, and we had our little social. There's a couple of different groups, the 3 lads on the point and us down this bank. And yeah, it was a really nice evening. You know, clear skies and quite warm. We had a barbecue and chilled out and caught up and had a few beers and yeah, had a good time. And then I think we all went to bed. I don't know, sort of 10, half 10ish, something like that, maybe a little bit later. We were all knackered. Most of us have been up early. And you know, when you kind of just got to sleep and you're in that real deep sleep and you don't really want to be kind of woken up by your fish or anybody else's, I suppose. You know, you're that tired. And I'd only been asleep about half an hour and Nick come round and he said he got one. And yeah, I went round and helped him with the photos. And in the water, it looked like a good fish, but massively underestimated it. I was like, yeah, it's a mid-30, you know, it's a decent fish. And yeah, it's pretty special actually. We got it up on the scales and it was only 43 pound. It was an absolute unit, like a real big, like proper chunk of a fish. But it wasn't very long, which is I think why it deceived us with how big it was. But yeah, proper big one. And at the same time, I think who else? Ben had got one, Ben McCarthy, and Ian had got one. So yeah, we went and did some photos of those and a little bit of video, and yeah, it was good to see a few fish getting caught. And not too long after that, sort of half an hour after that, I had my first bite and was into my first fish of the session. Oh, here we go then. So it's just gone 1 o'clock in the morning. About 10 minutes ago, my right hand has just ripped off. And I've just had this proper, what you could describe as a typical Simmo, 29.5 pound to kick off the session. So yeah, pretty pleased. You'll have already seen that in the last hour or two the lake's come alive really, and there's been a few fish out amongst our group, including a pretty big one to Nick next door, which you'll have seen. It's yeah, nice that it's doing a few fish. I think this is the 4th one now between the group, so they're showing everywhere amongst pretty much everybody that's fishing, to be fair. So there's hopefully a chance of a few more. So yeah, happy days. So we'll get this one back, get the rod back out, a few spoms over the top, and get back in bed. Happy days. Oh. Oh. Here we go then, fish number 2, 26.5 pounder. So on the recasted rod, another 6 or 7 spoms over the top, and probably an hour or so later, it's away again. Oh. Bit of a nicer fish this one, a few scales on it. I think it's the 8th fish of the group now. I think Woodall's had 2 and I think Ian's had another one as well. So yeah, from a very slow start to picking up a little bit. Oh. Right, let's get her back. Yeah, so obviously mega chuffed to get off the mark, and 2 good sized fish as well, a 26 and a 29. The 29 being one of the older, more plain, round, not so good looking Simmos, and the younger one being the new generation, one of the fish that's probably not been in here all too long. You know, longer scales, got real nice mouth on it, good shape to it, got a few scales missing from spawn in the one side, but looked really good, fought really hard, nice young healthy fish. So there's a real variety in here now. It's not just all the, you know, the old big round Simmos. They're actually quite old fish now, probably some of them getting on for, I imagine the bigger one's probably 30 years old maybe. So yeah, it's nice to get off the mark, and I think we had 8 in total in like a 3-hour spell all along this bank. Unfortunately, no one caught anything over on the point, and the 2 lads, Baz and Nath, right at the top end, didn't catch anything either. But yeah, I woke up this morning sort of 6 a.m-ish, something like that, and I was so tired. The door was zipped up, the rain was kind of pushing into the bivvy, so I zipped the door up, and I just couldn't get up. I was shattered. So ended up staying in bed till about 7:15, fully expecting a few of the lads to have caught a few this morning with this weather, but nothing else has happened. It was just that sort of feeding spell of around 3 hours where there was lights coming on opposite as well, and it wasn't just us that were catching, and then it's gone quiet again. So yeah, I think we're gonna kind of, in between the rain breaks, get out and give the rods a bit of a rechuck, get some more spoms out there. Like I say, I put 6 or 8 spoms over the rods after each fish. They definitely all went out well. Like, it was pretty calm in the night, so, and the rods are all on the spot still, so I'm not going to go and get soaked for no reason. There's still a good chance of one of them ripping off. But yeah, so hopefully today we'll get a chance to show you a little bit of what we're doing. Like I say, it's nothing revolutionary, just the normal stuff down here, very simple, and just trying to keep it all mega accurate really. So yeah, hopefully my dad can catch one as well, and Ben and Neil round on the point. You know, they've not had anything. There were fish showing over to the left yesterday, so in the night, so they are definitely getting there. But you know, I think if you fish accurately, you fish, you know, decent bit of bait on a spot, keep putting it on there, you know, sort of 2 or 3 times a day, just keep topping it up, 3 rods on it over a course of 3 days. I'd be amazed if you didn't get a bite or 2, even if you're not on the bulk of the fish. There's that many in here. So yeah, been watching my dad spomming this morning. He's been hitting the clip every time, and he's got his rods back out on there. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but hopefully this rain gives in at some point. It's forecast most of the day, to be fair. It is a bit of a miserable day, but should be a good day for fishing, but we'll see. Right, catch you in a bit. Oh, here we go. So it's about 2:30 Saturday afternoon, and I just got fish number 3. Really nice one, just ounces under 30 pounds. So another really good fish. Got a massive tail on it. There's no doubt this would have been probably well over 30 pounds before spawning, but yeah, solid fish. Come on my left hand rod this time on a little pink wafter. So I was actually, Nick had got my receiver. I was round in my dad's swim just on the point, because he had his first bite of the trip, but unfortunately that fell off. So yeah, just dashed back round and managed to play this one in. So yeah, happy days. It's been quiet for me today. Most of the fish have been down to my right. Nick's had a couple, Woodall's had 3. I think Ian's had a 3 as well. So yeah, they've been down to the right, but in the last hour or so, they've moved kind of out in front of me and over to the guys on the point as well, just round to my left. So yeah, hopefully we can catch a couple before they move off again. What a carp. Right, let's get it back. Afternoon guys, so I'm just going to do a quick update because things are getting a little bit hectic, as you can see behind me, and I'm kind of losing track of what's going on, so just wanted to keep you updated. So this morning obviously it was really miserable and wet and looked really good for a bite, but unfortunately it was really quiet for me for pretty much all the morning, although the lads down the bank did catch a few. I think Nick had 3 in the morning period. He's literally just got another one now on the bank, so I think that's fish number 5 for him, maybe 4 or 5. Woodall had a few. Again, he's had another one this afternoon as well, and I think Ian's had a couple more as well. So it has kicked off of a fashion. Most of those fish came out this morning, but like I say, nothing for me. You've seen that really nice 29-pound like scaly fish that I had about probably 45 minutes ago, and since then I've basically had a triple take. I've had 2 more. So I had one little one that I just slipped back, maybe 10 or 12 pounds, something like that, and I've got one in the net down here which looks like maybe a mid-20 or so. Yeah, so it's really changed, to be fair. The sun came out, the wind died off completely, and you could just see them fizzing everywhere, and they just moved into my area, and then it just, yeah, all hell broke loose really. So yeah, that's why we fish 3 on a spot, so try and capitalise when they come over. And yeah, so I've had them on different hook baits, fake corn, and like I say, a little pink wafter I had the one on, and just spomming over the top. So this is the mix that we're using. So just corn, tigers, boilie, and a bit of particle and hemp in there. So mostly big items. It's quite deep out there. And just put in anything from 5 to 6, maybe a few more over after each fish. Obviously I've just had a triple take, so I put 10 out just because I felt like a lot of the bait would have probably been eaten with it being big items. Yeah, so I think we've had probably getting on for 20 fish now for the group, which if you'd have said that this time yesterday, I probably wouldn't have believed you. It looked like it was going to be a pretty tricky trip, and yeah, all of a sudden it's turned around. So we'd like some of the other lads to start catching a couple. Obviously we want everyone to catch ideally, which is always a tall order, you know, getting swims where there's fish in every swim. But absolutely gutted my dad lost that one earlier. I mentioned it when I was holding that 29-pounder. The fish started sort of fizzing and showing over there, and yeah, his right hander ripped off, and yeah, hook pull just a few rod lengths out, so gutted. But looking on the positive side, we've got 2 nights left, and yeah, I'd say there's every chance of him getting another few bites. So yeah, he's got the rod back out, a few more spoms over the top, and wait for them to come back over him. So yeah, we'll I've got one rod over here just to get back out. I've got to wrap that up and flick it back out. I've already put some bait out, try and keep them in the area. Just had a single bleep on one of the rods. You don't usually get liners fishing tight lines, but I have experienced it a few times. Down here, when you get a lot of fish in your swim, you will just get kind of single bleeps, even on a tight line with mono. Kind of a sure sign that they're on you. So, right, I've got this fish to get out. Have a look at him. I reckon it's a mid-20. Real nice colour to this one. And Nick's got one next door, so might get a double shot. We'll have a look. Right, catch you in a bit. Okay, here we go. The third and final fish of that little flurry. So this one's 23 pound. So yeah, fish just came over me, and like it can happen on here, it can all kick off. So yeah, happy days. A real quiet morning, but a slightly busier afternoon. So we're going to, oh, this is really lively. We're going to get her back, get that rod back out, and hopefully catch a few more. So I'm just going to quickly show you the rig that I'm catching these fish on just before I get this third rod back out. And like I said earlier on in the video, it's dead simple, nothing complicated. So we've got about a foot of rig tubing straight down to a hybrid lead clip. We've got a 4-ounce dumpy distance lead there from Seven Valley Leads, straight down to quite a long anti-tangle sleeve. And then we've got about 8 inches of amnesia, little bit of putty in the middle just to make sure it sits down properly. We've got a size 4 chod hook, and then 2 bits of plastic. So really simple. And I've had all my fish bar one on this rig, and the only difference with the other fish was it was a pink wafter, little 13 miller instead of the corn hook bait. So yeah, dead simple, doesn't tangle, sits nice on the bottom, and you get some really good hook holds with this rig. So yeah, there we go. Let's get this third rod back out and see if we can catch another one and build on this little flurry this afternoon. Morning guys, just thought I'd give you a quick update. So I've just woke up from a really good sleep, actually, very quiet on the fishing front. So as you can see there, the sun's just coming up over my shoulder. It's about 6:30 AM, something like that. So yeah, that third fish that I had yesterday of that triple take was the last fish that I caught. And it was actually the last fish for the rest of the day, I think. Between all of us, it went quiet after that. Yeah, and then I think Woodall had another one, sort of maybe 9:30, something like that. That was a 30-pounder, real nice scaly one. I wasn't around to get any video of that one. I think he had another 27-pounder in the night. Ben, to his right, lost one just after dark, about 10 PM. And Ian, to his right, had 2 between sort of midnight and 1 a.m, I believe, something like that, 2 30-pounders. Yeah, obviously this lake is full of big fish. I mean, I think we've had 1, 2, 3, 4. We've had at least 5 or 6 30s, maybe more, 7 30s, obviously a 40. There's been 3 or 4 29-pounders, so many big ones, but all quiet for me. I believe Nick next door, all quiet for him as well. The fish are to my right. Yeah, just down more into the central kind of body of the lake, which is kind of what I expected, to be honest. I did say at the start I felt like I was a little bit too far left to be on the bulk of the fish, and I'm just going to nick them as they kind of drift my way, which is fine. I'm more than happy. I caught 5 fish, which if you'd have said that to me on the first evening, I'd have snatched your hand off for it. I'd have, I didn't think it was going to be. I didn't think we was going to catch this many fish. I'm sure we probably caught 25 or 27 fish, something like that. Now I haven't added it up. But yeah, all quiet for the boys over on the point as well, including my dad. So I'd really like them to catch some fish hopefully today. The wind's pushing down their end. It's going to be a much sunnier day today, much brighter day. So hopefully that'll push a few fish slightly shallower down that end in places, so they might get down there. Yeah, we'll just stick to it. May have a play around with zigs potentially today, but I think it's just the fact, there's a lot of fish in these lakes, as I always say, but if you're not on them, you're not catching them. There can be 10,000 fish in a lake, but if you ain't on them, you ain't catching them. So yeah, just stick to it and hopefully get a couple more today. So I'm gonna get the kettle on. Catch you later. Evening guys, so it's about 6:30 now, Sunday evening, and I haven't updated you all day basically because nothing's happened. It's been pretty dead. So there's only been 1 fish caught in our group, and that was to Ben, 3 swims up to my right. He had a 20-pounder out of the blue this afternoon. Other than that, it's been really quiet. So I wound in and went to Sainsbury's because I'm actually going on to Stanton for at least 2 nights after this trip, which is my syndicate down the road. So I went and get some more supplies because I got Ralphie with me. So obviously once everyone's gone, I can't go in the shops. So I went and got that sorted. When I had a walk around Stanton, there was only 1 guy fishing, but yeah, it's looking really good. So looking forward to getting over there tomorrow. And then I come back and decided to have a move. So I've moved down to Baz's swim. Baz has gone home this evening. He's got a long drive back up to Newcastle, so he decided to get off. So yeah, it's closer to where I think the bulk of the fish are. And yeah, I've gone and set up in there. Everything's gone out so sweet. I've got 3 rods bang on a spot, 26 wraps. And then I've chucked about 15, 20 spoms over the top, mostly tiger nuts, corn, the same mix I was using before. But yeah, gone out really well. So yeah, really confident actually. So I'm just on my way, walking back up to my dad just to get Ralphie and some food for this evening. And yeah, get back down there and have a social with the lads. Last night, it's been a quality trip, so hopefully we can end it with a few more. Right, I'll let you know obviously if anything happens. Speak to you later. Morning guys, I hope you can see this okay. It's just turning light, 5 a.m. or just before 5 a.m. So yeah, it's another pretty busy night. Not hectic for anybody, but plenty of action and plenty going on. So just after dark, the fish started showing, ironically, in the swim that I moved from and in front of the point swim. Ben moved from the point after I moved last night. He moved a couple of swims down to my right into our last swim that we got available. There were fish down there and he hadn't caught anything. So yeah, and the fish all turned up, didn't they, in front of my swim that I moved from and his swim. So yeah, it looked really good to be fair down there, but it was quiet up here for us. Wasn't a lot going on. And about probably, I guess about 11:30, something like that, Ian next door come and got me, said he got a good fish, close to 30 pound. So I went round and gave him a hand with that, and ended up being a 28 pound mirror. So nice fish. I think he might have had 7 fish now maybe. So as we were sorting that fish out, I could see the lights coming on over on the point. Obviously my dad's over there and Neil's still over there, and I was obviously hoping that they got a fish, and yeah, sure enough, my dad had got one. So absolutely buzzing for him, especially after losing that one. I think it was yesterday afternoon. Yeah, oh sorry, no, it was Saturday afternoon. So yeah, we went round and gave him a hand, and it was bang on 30 pound. So yeah, he was chuffed. Managed to get a little bit of footage of that. Here we go then. So 3rd night, Dad's had one. How big is it?
30 pound dead.
Bang on £30. There's fish crashing down this end. Maybe a few lines out the water have helped, but they're certainly here. Right, it's beat him up, so we're going to get it back. Well done, Dad.
Thank you.
Right, let's get it back then. So yeah, got back round here. Woodall had another big one. He'd had a 38 pounder. Nick had I think a mid 20 as well. So yeah, all of us down this bank had caught one up until me. And then obviously my dad on the point. About half an hour after that, Neil caught one, a 29 pounder. So he was on the blank as well. So he saved his blank. And yeah, I was sat here thinking, what's going on? Like, I'm fishing really tidily. All my rods went out perfect. You know, bait went out perfect. How come I'm not catching anything? And all the fish just kept showing. Like, honestly, they were dolphin. It was like a dolphin show down there. It was crazy. There was one after the other all around the point area in my old swim. So I started spomming in this swim. Every sort of half an hour I was putting 3 spoms out. Bear in mind, I haven't been to bed all night at the moment. It's just kind of, the night's just, I don't know where it's gone really. So every half an hour, 3 spoms out. So I did that from kind of like 2 till 4 a.m. And then at about 4 a.m. I had a little wander down the bank, and they were showing so much in my old swim. I tied 3 solid bags up, and I thought I'm going to have to go down there and just chuck solid bags out, like 40 yards onto them. And just as I finished tying the 3rd solid bag up, my left-hander just pulled up tight and started going. So I was like, finally, you know, I expected it to happen sooner. And you can see down there in the sling, we've got my biggest fish of the session so far. So it's 33 pound, nice fish, fought really hard. So I'm just going to get it out and do a little bit of video now, and hopefully get someone to come down and do me some pictures as well. But I think everyone's asleep. I popped a message in the group, but no one's replied yet. So yeah, I was tired, but now I'm awake. I'm going to be feeling it later though. Yeah, pulling an all-nighter on Brasenose 1. So yeah, I mean, the size of the fish in here is ridiculous. You know, I'm sure with the one Woodall had and that one, we've potentially had 10 or 11 30 pounders now, up to 38 and a 43 in about, we must have had like 33 fish, something like that now. So yeah, what a trip. So yeah, let's get this one out and have a look at her. Oh. How about that then? Worth the move and worth staying up all night spomming and trying to make it happen. My biggest fish of the trip, a really, really nice 33 pounder, solid looking fish. A few scales down the wrist of its tail, kind of like a half linear. Yeah, taken on the double plastic on the leg clip over a really tight spommed area. Oh, I'm pretty sure this is our 10th 30, maybe even our 11th 30. It's such a ridiculous lake this is now. So yeah, I'm mega chuffed with that. Really, really happy. What a way to end the trip. I'm pretty sure this will probably be my last one. Like I say, we got to pack up very shortly, so can get the kettle on, enjoy a coffee. It's a beautiful morning. Happy days. Right, let's get some stills, get it back. Morning guys, so you join me over Stanton. It's my 2nd morning over here, and as you can see, it's an absolutely stunning morning. Sun's just coming up over the horizon. Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful day. I have just put back my first fish of the session, a really, really nice upper 20 common, scale perfect, an original for the lake. It was beautiful. Had it just before first light, just waited for the light to get a little bit better for the photos. Yeah, so I blanked my last 4 weeks on here, so chuffed to be able to catch one this week. So I thought I'd just finish off this vlog with a little piece over here. I've had a couple of nights to catch up on sleep. I feel more human again now, so I feel like I can do a bit of video without looking absolutely dead. So yeah, that 33 pounder was the last fish that I caught. So I ended up with 6 fish, which I'm really pleased with. You know, it was fairly tricky at times, you know, the fish weren't on me and whatever. So, and I think there was maybe 1 more fish caught. I think Woodall had a upper 20 as the rods were kind of lay on the deck sort of thing right at the end. So he finished with 12 fish, he was top rod. Nick had the 43 pounder, he obviously got the biggest fish. Obviously, my dad and Neil both caught on the last night, which was really good, you know, saving their blanks. So yeah, all in all, it was a great Simmo social, and I absolutely loved the event. They're a great group of lads. I feel really lucky to be able to do it every year with them. So yeah, so hopefully you've got this far into the video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give us a subscribe, like the video, pop a comment below, and I will catch up with you next time I'm on the bank filming. Take it easy.